All right, so this is a follow-up in helping you identify the types of clients you have and how we cater what it is we're doing to them, right? And a lot of this is like, oh my gosh, I have to cater to these people. Yes, I mean, we all do. It's just a fact of human nature. We have to learn how to work with people. We have to learn how to work with abundant mindsets, poverty mindsets. It really just goes into how you keep someone long-term and how you can have success. But if they don't understand success or they don't vibe or mesh and what we're doing matches someone that they're not, it doesn't matter what we're going to do. There's always going to be that dissonance. So let's remove dissonance, perceived indifference. Let's get rid of it. And let's dive into this. All right, so if you remember, we covered this. This is really how brand owners approach their brands, and they approach you, right? This is their approach to you. They're coming to you with either abundant trusting, which we all hope for, abundant untrusting, poverty trusting, like they're coming to you with this grid. That's how they approach you. This is how you approach them, right? And you have to identify this early on. You typically do this on the kickoff call, initial conversations, things like that. That's where you're going to identify this. So let's jump into it. Really, in terms of the grid, you don't really have to be a scientist here, but you do want to have this understanding of them, and you're going to learn this. You're going to learn how they approach you, right? Then when you approach them and you have conversation, you want to quickly identify this. And when you identify, are they high level? High level, this is going to be someone that is super busy, never stays over in meetings, typically has success, and they don't have time. You're an expert, they hired you, they want you in here, they want things moving, they don't have time to go into the details. Like, boom, give me all the high level details. I can tend to be like this sometimes, but I'm also very detail oriented. So I kind of cross over in between both of these. Unengaged means, hey, let's do this. It's awesome. We'll push the kickoff call next week. Let's just get things going. Go ahead. Like, they're removed. Detail oriented, these can be difficult because they're like, okay, you're going to run CBO and broad and Advantage Plus and Interest. Why? What's the difference? What does CBO mean? What does, have you heard of this guy? He does it this way. And it's like, they need to kind of get out of your business. And at the same time, they can also come off as a know-it-all because they're so detail-oriented. I struggle with this because I don't know it all. And I've learned that with my team. However, I still am naturally inquisitive and I get in the weeds. And then the fourth is needy. Needy means they need you to be a part of every decision. They want you to do their job, right? Sometimes we have clients that come to us with all these problems. Like, when should I post my social media? What color should my brand be? Like, bro, we're experts, but you're not paying us to manage your business. And each of these types of people, we have to identify quickly. And then that's going to tell you your approach. And it's not, you don't want to call it out, be like, hey, you're needy. But you do want to be able to say, I can tell there's a lot of needs you have in your business, right? I can tell you really like details. I can tell you're very busy, unengaged. Or I can tell you one thing's high level, right? We need that. It's not a harm to bring that up to attention because then it lets you address it. So let's jump into how we address each of these. So the first is unengaged, right? Unengaged Friday videos are huge, right? Because they have to see we have success. And a lot of why we have Friday videos is business owners and brands that we've got are very unengaged, don't know, don't care, but they want to see and know things are moving, right? Send bullet summaries. You're going to say, hey, Joe, I saw you weren't able to jump on the meeting. No worries. Here's a summary of what's happening. Here's the bullet points and what I need from you. And then ask and say, hey, I know you're really busy. What would be the most helpful that I can provide you so you can stay doing what you're doing? And then I can keep focusing on hitting success and KPIs, right? How they stay with us is Friday videos and providing what it is they're looking for. And most of them are just going to say, I don't know, send me the ROAS, send me some high-level notes, tell me what I need to know. And you tell them to move forward. So for unengaged, this looks like less meetings probably. It looks like text summaries and video overviews. And it looks like catering a lot of what it is we're doing to what it is they want. And you're going to have to find out what it is they want, know, and see on the brief moments when you do have their attention. So that is how you approach unengaged. Let's keep going. High level, we have several of these clients. They're busy. They don't have time for videos. Don't send me a Loom. And we can even say it in the beginning, like, Looms aren't for everybody, right? I can definitely tell you're really high level. I'm going to send you the high level numbers. I'm going to send you bullet summaries of barriers and things I need from you. Let's have short, effective meetings. And I want to focus on, and this should come out, you should say this. I want to ask about, what are your priorities? What are your primary priorities? And they're going to say sales, numbers, leads, whatever. That's it. And that's fine. And that's going to be the summary. And if we aren't hitting those, we better have a bullet summary of what are the barriers and needs. Because if we just say, hey, things aren't working, and then we don't provide this is what's happening, this is the issue, this is the barrier. And I told you about this a week ago, by the way. If you come across like that one or two times when there isn't sales, you're like, I asked you, I sent you a bullet point note, and they will immediately go, this person knows what they're doing. They're not the problem. Let me go address the problem. But if you don't have that and you're just like, I don't know, things aren't working, you cannot say, I don't know to this group. There has to be a reason. And if you have a reason, it's illogical, makes sense, they'll stay with you forever. So, all right, next, detail-oriented. These are, I don't want to say the most difficult, but they take the most boundary. Well, this one and needy, they take a framework. And so why we want to do things in advance for detail-oriented people, because if you don't, they're going to ask one detailed question and the whole meeting is lost. And you're going to say, our broad's still doing really well, but Advantage Plus just doesn't have enough creative. And they're going to say, why? Why does Meta not have? And then we're lost in that meeting because they got lost in one minute detail and they could never come back to the surface. So what we do for these clients is we prep the meeting agenda in advance. So let's say the meeting's tomorrow. We prep it today. We send it today with a video, high-level notes, so we can say everything we need to say in advance. That when we get to the meeting, we can have discussion, we can spend time on necessary things, but we get what's critical out in advance. We don't get lost in the weeds because a pre-recorded video with the notes and everything allows us to say what we need. Next, we ask about always, what are your primary KPIs, right? I as much as I want to love to get into all the details, we don't have time. We need to stay focused on the primary KPIs. We ask that. And then we keep it high level. If we get too much in the weeds, like you open the can just a little bit, they cannot resist the urge to open the can, jump in, dive into every single detail and spend 38 years going through everything. And the next, the big thing that I find really helps with detail-oriented people is give them homework. Why? Because if you don't, they will give you homework. And the homework's going to be, can you look up the best performing, go research for me, the best performing broad versus Advantage Plus articles. And I want to know, because they just love to research the details. We don't have time for that. So how we preempt that is we really say this. All right, here's what we need from you, right? You're detail-oriented. You want to know, we know this area best. We compare it, and we always give them the ominous other brands to all of our existing other brands, our partners' brands, and we are taking the best strategies for it. Boom, done. That's the answer for everything. Our internal clients that we've got, our partners that give us access to all their clients, that's why we do this, because it produced the most success. Now, on your end, here's what I would ask. Can you come up with the best offers that you've seen in your brand, the best comparison competitor breakdown, and give those to us, and then we'll dive into some of their strategies as well. It puts the homework on them, puts the detail on them. If not, you're always going to inherit it. And then the last part of this, sometimes it gets this, we have to define roles and really say, okay, I'm the expert in this space. I appreciate all your questions. These are great. But for me to be able to really execute, you stay business owner, give me products with a great margin, give me these things, give me the offers, competitors, give me the internal value you've got, and then I will bring the value I've got in the kitchen. Do not resign the expert of being the person in the kitchen, because these detail-oriented people will step in your kitchen. They have no expertise, but they will begin to tell you everything you're doing wrong because they read one article and then they researched it for 8 hours and they feel like the expert. They don't have the reps. They don't have the at-bats. And you can come across like that. It's like, really, you bring up really great questions. Those are great questions. Now, in my experience and with all my internal brands, these at-bats tell me a curve is coming. I'm capable of being wrong. But what I don't want to do is start dividing my expertise to questions. And then when you begin to do that, you lose the role by them saying, well, you come in and do this and you come in. No. Here's what we're going to do. Offer, remember, back to the strategy, product margin conversion, right? There's so many areas for them to focus their attention and not on your role. All right, last is needy. So let's go into needy clients. So needy clients, really, we try to be nice because mostly they're nice people. But it really goes down into what we call scope and boundaries. So we need to align the scope. And typically we do this pretty well in onboarding, and we do this on Slack. We're saying, hey, we're head down in the mornings, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes we have to say this in the nicest possible way. So, if we're always talking, the time I have set aside to really work and bring my expertise, I'm busy answering questions that really don't have to do with my area of expertise. They have to do with your brand or your colors, or you want me to join in on a web dev meeting. It takes my focus off my strike zone. And although I'm really good, I can hit a curveball. I am best at a fastball. Every time I'm going to hit at least either a home run or a double or a triple or a single, I'm gonna connect. But if I've got to switch to hit a curve, and then next I got to do a slider, and the next I got to go coach first base, like I'm not up at bat swinging, and you need me swinging. Next is going to be defining the roles and team members. And sometimes that's like, all right, hey, you're business owner, this is your space. I'm, ads, I'm this space. And it typically will come down to boundaries. And if we set a boundary, and the boundary is going to be like this, we're going to use this spreadsheet. You have to use that spreadsheet. You cannot show a crack, because needy clients will be like, well, now can you jump on these 13 other meetings just because, and this is important, blah, blah, blah. We just have to make sure the boundaries are known, set and define them, talk to your PM, and then set those times and responses. Now, each of these clients, and I'm going to go back up here, really define how we work with them. We have a set structure of how we work and our EOMs and all these other things, but this will help you clearly know what you're doing, how you cater it, and what you say and do. And then the last thing is this: don't be in fear. Don't be in fear of being who you are, right? And what I mean by that is, if you're like, okay, I'm being approached with this, and I'm approaching a high level, and I have to make sure everything is done just like this is your guidelines. Be who you are. You're an expert. You're a person. You have, thoughts and feeling and emotion, all these things. It's normal. It's normal. But my goal and our goal is to best equip you for the most success that you can have. And that comes down to really knowing who's in the room you're talking to. And if you don't know who you're talking to in the room, you may bring the right message in the wrong way. Or you may bring the right message for the wrong person. And we want to make sure we are aligning the right message to the right person, and it lets you do your job. So I'm going to put a cap on this, but this I think is going to be very helpful for everybody.